Leeds United versus Everton, March 1975. In this video, we go back to March 1975 for a proper old-school clash between two legendary football mobs, Leeds United's service crew and Everton's county road cutters. Though back then, they probably didn't even use those names yet. Title-chasing Everton made the trip to Elland Road in big numbers, and what happened next has gone down in terrace history. Before we dive in further, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. It really motivates me to keep bringing you more great content. First, we hear from Nigel, an Everton supporter. It was my first away game, Leeds away, March 1975. Leeds had just won the league the season before, but this time they were mid-table, and we had a real shot at the title. I went with 3 lads from the Vauxhall area. Back then, Everton didn't have one big firm like some others. We were made up of smaller groups. At home, we were a force. Just ask Millwall. 7 of their fans got stabbed trying to take the latest street end in '74. We didn't mess about. Some of our lot carried Stanley knives and knew how to use them, especially in the tight alleyways around Goodison. But going away was another story, especially to places like Leeds. We got the footy special. I think 3 trains went in total. But instead of waiting for all 3 to arrive so we could march together, the police pushed each group out separately. 2 coppers led us towards the ground. It wasn't a proper escort. The walk to Elland Road felt never-ending. About half a mile out, it kicked off. Leeds had a huge mob waiting for us, and suddenly bricks and bottles started flying. It got ugly fast. The police vanished as soon as it started, but we pushed on and made it to the ground. Even outside the turnstiles, more Leeds fans were waiting to pile in. We stood our ground, though, and got in safely, just about. Inside the away end, it stayed calm until halftime. Then a load of Leeds fans stormed the stand from the side. There was panic at first. People rushed the other way, and a few got crushed. But we managed to fight back and drive them off. I was on the far side, so couldn't see much, but it was kicking off big time. I heard later it was one of their tricks, sneaking into away ends and attacking at halftime. This time, though, there were too many of us. The game ended 0-0. We knew it wasn't over. Outside, it was chaos. Leeds fans came at us from all sides. Proper planned ambushes. Way more organized than we ever were. Some of us hid scarves and kept singing "Stick Together." The police were useless. I asked one how to get to the station, and he told me to buy a map, all while bricks were being thrown at us. Some Leeds fans even got into the police lines and were smacking our lads left and right. I'll never forget a huge Leeds lad in a deerstalker hat, blowing a horn and chanting "A hunting we will go," urging on the mob. It felt like a war. We stuck together mostly, but small groups got isolated and picked off. I watched some of our lot leg it up a hill, chased by a swarm of Leeds. Others got caught near roadworks and rubble. It was frightening. Somehow, we made it to the station. Loads of stories flying around about how well Leeds had planned it. Just as our train pulled out, nearly every window got smashed by flying bricks. Cold and covered in glass, we headed back to Lime Street. Everyone was already talking about revenge, and when Leeds came to Goodison in March '76, let's just say they got what was coming. But that's another tale for another day. Now we hear from Andy, a Leeds fan who remembers things from the home side. Back in the '70s, Elland Road was chaos most weeks, unless the away team didn't bring many. But most of the big clubs did. Man United, Liverpool, Everton, Newcastle, Birmingham, Wolves, and the London clubs brought decent numbers. We always had to change up our tactics because the police changed theirs. Sometimes they didn't even bother giving away fans an escort. When they did, it was just a couple of coppers. Man City once ran for their lives after the match because the police left them on their own. Even when teams did get an escort, like United in '74, they still got battered. The Yorkshire police didn't care much for Mancs or Scousers. They probably thought a few punches were fair play. The Everton game in '75 was nuts because they brought loads, probably around 3,000, which was rare at the time. They were in the title race, so that's likely why. One of our crews went after the train arrivals. We knew there were 3 specials coming in. Another crew waited by the coaches, but those parked closer to the ground, so the train route was better for a scrap. The first group of Everton got attacked early on, near the canal bridges. Not a full-on battle, just pockets of us, maybe 20 to 30 strong, picking them off. Too early in the day for all-out war. Most Leeds fans were still in the pubs. During the game, I watched our lot in the Lowfield stand try to charge the Everton fans. They nearly caused a crush, but had to fall back because there were just too many Scousers. After full time, the real fun began. Most of the cops stayed behind waiting for Everton. There were more coppers than usual, but we still tried to get at them. The first charge was held off, but the second one broke through. Some Everton fans ran. I heard later a few of them took some serious punishment. They had a lot of numbers, 3 trainloads at least, and the main group stuck together, but little groups started to crumble. It was like a battlefield. Leeds kept coming in waves. At one point, the police were all over the place trying to keep order and stop a riot. As the main Everton mob made their way back, we launched more ambushes near the city center. More police arrived and eventually got them on the trains. But before they could leave, we gave them a final send-off, smashed up most of their carriage windows. Then it was home, tea, and match of the day. Simple as that. Of course, Everton were looking for revenge in the return match, but that's a different story. Big thanks to Nigel and Andy for sharing their memories. It's clear Everton had a tough day out in Leeds, though they did manage to hold their own for the most part. Another wild story from the rough and rowdy days of 1970s football, when away days could feel more like battlefields, especially at places like Elland Road or Goodison Park. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button.